pleasant evening and a warm welcome to the national news live on Channel I. I'm Dulanjali Ananda.
And I'm Kasun Segera. First we take a look at the headlines for today. All religious leaders praised the measures undertaken by President to prevent the coronavirus pandemic. 99.61% of the students who undertook GCE ordinary level examinations last December in Mahinda Rajapaksa College, Homagama qualify for GCE advanced level. COVID-19 patients detected as clusters have been controlled. 1,553 PCR tests were conducted yesterday. The balance of the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund reaches 871 million rupees. The economic growth in the country for the year 2019 has reduced to 2.3%. On our top story this evening, a special meeting was held between the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Chief Prelate of Sri Kalyani Samagiri Sangha Sabha, Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera, and His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit today. The meeting was held at the Presidential Secretariat. Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera and His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit praised the measures undertaken by the President to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The President rather says that he believes in the pandemic situation in the country will be swiftly prevented and the curfew will be raised in the near future. Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera stated that the Buddhist devotees should be informed to engage in religious observances from their respective households during the Vesak full moon Poya Day period. The President pointed out that the use of mass media platforms on this regard. Inquiring regarding the investigations into Easter Sunday bombings, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit emphasized on the need to identify the perpetrators behind the heinous crime. Mentioning that there are objectives beyond the suicide bombings, the President said that government is making efforts to identify perpetrators behind these objectives. His Eminence Cardinal also emphasized that the timely need to create a new electoral trend in the country beyond an election propaganda campaigns which stir hatred. The President said that his intention has directed on changing the prevailing expensive and baseless election propaganda campaigns in the country. Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera said that several agri-cultivating lands, tanks, irrigation projects are in dilapidated condition. The President said that provisions will be allocated from the budget for the restoration of such projects. Secretary to the President Dr. P. Bijasundara, Chief Advisor to the President Lalit Veeratunga were present at this occasion.
Mahinda Rajapaksa College, Homagama has obtained excellent results in the GCE ordinary level examination held in the previous year. 99.61% of students in the college have qualified to follow GCE advanced level streams. Mahinda Rajapaksa College, Homagama was founded on January 20, 2011 under the concept of then President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Close to 6,200 students are currently receiving their education at the school. 762 students from Mahinda Rajapaksa College, Homagama faced the GCE ordinary level examinations last year, out of which 759 students have qualified to enroll into GCE advanced level streams. 83 students have gained 9 A's, while 91 students gained 8 A's, another 95 students gained 7 A's. All students who faced the examination have passed the English language subject. This school has also managed to showcase special skills in the examinations held in the past years.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has taken steps to issue result sheets of the GCE ordinary level examination through an online platform for the first time in the history. Accordingly, the relevant usernames and passwords were provided for the provincial and zonal education directors today. The ceremony of the launch was held at the Examination Department's premises under the patronage of Minister Dallas Alha-Peruma. The issuance of result sheets for provincial and zonal education directors was carried out through the postal service in previous occasions. However, opportunity has been provided to download the examination result sheets through the official website of Sri Lanka Examination Department, www.donets.lk. An examination department has further expanded the services of the official website in accordance to the work from home concept introduced by the government. Accordingly, obtaining of examination certificates and result sheets as well as analyzing results have been facilitated through the online platform.
ප්‍රතිඵල නිකුත් වීම පිළිබඳව මේ පැයේ ඇත්තටම බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තිබුණේ නැහැ රටේ. තව මේක ගොඩක් කල්යයි කියලා තමයි විශ්වාස කරන්නේ. උසස් පෙළ විභාගය ගැන, සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාග ගැන, පහේ ශිෂ්‍යත්ව විභාගය ගැන නොයෙක් ආරංචි. ඒකයි සමහර වෙලාවට දේශපාලන.
Moving to news related to the pandemic condition, the total recovered COVID-19 patients in the country has escalated to 134 after 8 patients left hospitals today after being fully cured from the disease. Meanwhile, Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jasingh has said that the situation in many areas where COVID-19 patients were detected as clusters has been fully contained. Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jasingh has said that clusters were erupted in several areas in the country with the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. He said that they were managed to contain the spread of the clusters, especially in the areas Beruwala, Aludgama, Akurana, Jaffna, Nigambu, Ratnapura and Puthulam. He said that the biggest clusters they have encountered are from Keselwatta and Suduwalla, which are in the verge of being contained. Therefore, he said that people should not fear unnecessarily. Meanwhile, the highest number of PCR tests conducted within a day in the country was recorded yesterday after completing 1,553 tests. Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jasingh has said that this achievement is impeccable for the health sector. He said that the health sector has conducted around 20,000 PCR tests thus far.
මේ අනිකුත් ක්ෂේත්‍ර කාර්ය මණ්ඩල මේ වන විට මං හිතන්නේ 20000ක පමණ ටෙස්ට් ප්‍රමාණයක් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ පිළිබඳ ඉතාම සතුටට පත්වන බව මම ප්‍රකාශ කළ යුතුයි.
A tally of 455 active COVID-19 patients are currently being treated in several hospitals in the country thus far. 5 of the 8 patients who were recovered from the disease have been identified as naval officers who were on leave from work. The other 3 were reported from Pune Quarantine Center. Director General of Health Services Dr. Anil Jasingh has said that 148 naval personnel have been identified from inside the naval camp, while 48 have been identified from outside. He said that another 13 persons have been infected as they have been close associates of the COVID-19 patients, escalating the number to 206.
එක් අතකින් මේ තත්ත්වය තුළ සාපේක්ෂ වශයෙන් හොඳ දෙයක් මේ බාහිරින් හමු වෙන අය අඩුවීම සහ අභ්‍යන්තරයෙන් හමු වීම අය හමු වන අය වැඩිවීම.
A total of 65 COVID-19 patients were recovered from the country yesterday. 61 patients were identified as officers attached to the Valisara, Sri Lanka Navy camp. Another patient was reported from Colombo, Hatavatta area in Colombo. He had recently shifted to this area from Bandaranaike area in Colombo. Another patient has recorded from Havelock area in Colombo. He had recently visited the Bandaranaike area in Colombo for work purposes. Another 2 patients were reported from Narayanpeta area in Colombo. Biosamples from residents in several areas in Colombo, including Hatavatta area and Dabari Mawata in Narayanpeta, were obtained for PCR tests. 31 persons from Hatavatta area have been directed to a quarantine center. Meanwhile, 164 Sri Lankan students in Bangalore, India have been repatriated to the country today in a special flight belonging to Sri Lankan Airlines. They have been directed to quarantine centers. Sri Lanka Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva said that 77 have left quarantine centers after completing the quarantine process today. Accordingly, he said that a total of 4,526 people have left quarantine centers maintained by Triforces after completing the quarantining period. He said that the steps have been taken to direct the families to the infected naval officers and their close associates. A special disinfectant chamber has been established for the disinfection of all arriving passengers following the resumption of the Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunayaka. The special disinfectant chamber was commissioned by Chairman of Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Limited, retired Major General G.A. Chandasiri yesterday. Under the instructions of Sri Lanka Air Force Commander Air Marshal Sumangala Dias, the Aeronautical Engineering Support Wing at Sri Lanka Air Force Base Ratmalana developed and installed the passenger disinfectant chamber. The chamber comprises of 3 main sections. The first section aims at disinfecting the upper back and the head area. The second section targets on the mid-body of the section and above the knee, while final section targets the lower body, legs and feet. In addition to spraying disinfectant liquid, spraying systems consist of specially designed nozzles, creates a thick mist consisting of disinfectant liquid within the tunnel established in the chamber. This is intended to penetrate clothing to ensure that any contaminants within the clothes to be cleaned. The contaminated liquid will be collected in a separate tank which will be properly disposed by the Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear and Explosive Wing of Sri Lanka Air Force. A stock of medical equipment including 53 ICU beds worth of 12 million rupees have been donated to Health Ministry today by the Association of University Lecturers.
The curfew imposed in districts except for the high-risk zones was lifted at 5 a.m. and reimposed at 8 p.m. today. The curfew will be lifted again at 5 a.m. tomorrow. The curfew has been imposed to prevent the spread of the coronavirus in the country. The curfew imposed in districts of Colombo, Kalutara, Gampaha and Putlam, identified as high-risk zones, will be in effect until 5 a.m. on May 4th. The curfew in remaining districts will be lifted at 5 a.m. today for a period of 15 hours. The curfew in these districts will be in effect from 8 p.m. till 5 a.m. daily until this Friday. DIG Ajit Rohana said that an introduction has been made over the last digit of National Identity Card system. He said that those who have last digits of National Identity Card as number 5 and 6, they will be permitted to leave their residences for consumer services only on Wednesdays in curfew lifted areas. He said that this is a request made to the public instead of a regulation. However, he said that this will not be applicable for others who engage in essential and official services. He said that no individual is permitted to travel in curfew enforced districts without a curfew pass, and only those who engage in essential services are permitted to travel in these districts. The public could adhere to the health instructions during curfew lifted periods.
ඇඳින් බලපත්‍රය හැටියට භාවිතා කරන්නට හැකියාව ලැබෙනවා. ඇඳින් නීතිය බලපෑත්වන ප්‍රදේශවල කිසිම ආකාරයකින් හැඳුනුම්පතේ අංක භාවිතා කරමින් යාමට අවස්ථාව ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ.
The public should adhere to the health instructions during curfew lifted periods. The public has been informed to refrain from gathering in public and private places and use main roads unnecessarily to avoid the spread of coronavirus. It has been reiterated that only half of the original passenger capacity should be accorded in public transportation. The government has informed that the transportation services should only be utilized for essential services, and steps have been taken to limit the inter-district movements only for essential services. If any area where the curfew has been relaxed to be identified as a high-risk village or zone, curfew may be reimposed, limiting the mentioned area. No personnel will be permitted to enter or exit areas designated as isolated zones. All forms of functions, pilgrimages and leisure tours, carnivals, processions and meetings have been suspended until further notice. Many operations are underway to detect curfew violators throughout the country. The police have apprehended 1,128 curfew violators within the past 24 hours while taking 303 vehicles into custody. So far, 41,079 individuals have been arrested for violating curfew orders and 10,591 vehicles have been taken into custody since the curfew imposed in March.
With corporate and individual donations and direct deposits, the balance of the COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund has escalated to 871 million rupees at present. The 5 million rupees worth donation made by Lanka Electricity Company Private Limited was handed over to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today. Director General of the Secretariat for Non-Government Organizations R. Gunaratna donated his salary to COVID-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund. All donations will be credited to the special account opened under the number 85737373 at corporate branch of the Bank of Ceylon. Local and foreign donors have made their contributions to the fund. Donations made to the fund have been exempted from taxes and foreign exchange regulations. Deposits can be made through checks or telegraphic transfers. Further details can be obtained from the Director General Administration of Presidential Secretariat, KB Egodavala, through the telephone number 011-2354-479 or 011-2354-354. Meanwhile, the central bank expects that the real GDP growth in Sri Lanka to decelerate to around 1.5% in 2020 before the economy recovers to attain its envisaged potential over the medium term. The central bank presented its annual report to the 2019 to the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, Economic and Policy Development, Mahinda Rajapaksa, today. Professor W.D. Lakshman, the Governor of the Central Bank, presented the 70th annual report of the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka in terms of Section 35 of the Monetary Law Act number 58 of 1949 to the Prime Minister Rajapaksa today. The report covers the economic development of the country in 2019 and also has a chapter on the forecast for 2020. Sri Lanka's economy grew 2.3% in 2019, is forecasted to grow to 1.5% in 2020. Sri Lanka has recorded an annual average inflation of 4.3% in 2019, foreign reserves of $7.6 billion and a balance of payments surplus of $377 million. In its annual report, the central bank said that the COVID-19 pandemic will adversely impact the progress of the economy during the year, contrary to the previous expectations of a rebound in economic growth. According to the central bank, the nature of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is such that its impact on the performance of Sri Lankan economy hinges on several uncertain factors. Although the recovery of global economic activity is likely to be on a slow process, measures to achieve normalcy in domestic economic activities could enable Sri Lanka to record a faster recovery, as domestic demand accounts for a significant portion of aggregate demand in Sri Lanka.
DIG Ajit Rohana says that the court had not issued an order stating that the curfew imposed was illegal or to grant bail to former MP Ranjan Ramanayake. However, Attorney at Law M.A. Sumanthiran said that the court had granted bail for former MP Ranjan Ramanayake, considering that the imposed curfew was illegal. Former MP Ranjan Ramanayake was taken into police custody for interfering in the duties of police officers during the quarantine curfew period and was remanded after producing him before the Nugegoda Magistrates Court. The former MP was granted bail after he was produced before the courts on last 20th. Representing former MP Ranjan Ramanayake, Attorney at Law M.A. Sumanthiran said that the curfew imposed in the country was illegal. Speaking to media, he said that the former MP was granted bail after considering on this record. The court case against former MP Ranjan Ramanayake for interfering in the duties of police officers during the quarantine curfew period was taken for hearing today. DIG Ajit Rohana, representing Sri Lanka Police, inquired the court over the validity of the statement made by Attorney at Law M.A. Sumanthiran. Nugegoda Magistrate has stated that the court had not issued an order stating that the curfew imposed was illegal. DIG Ajit Rohana said that the former MP was granted bail after considering several other provisions of the Act on bail.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Information and Communications Technological Agency has introduced an application for the government sector to conduct video conferences. This app can be used on free of charge. This app can be accessed through the meet.gov.lk website. This app provides the facility to conduct live web conferences for a larger gathering at the same time. Close to 120 government institutions have joined with the support of the program. All subscribing companies have extended their support in providing the facility on free of charge. Well, that's it for your Primetime News Bulletin on Channel Live. Do join us tomorrow for the very latest. Till then, have a good night. Stay safe.
Good night.